Welcome to Quantum Funding, Building Tomorrow's Intelligence Today, brought to you by AWS Quantum AGI Supremacy. In this first episode, we ask a powerful question. Why must quantum research be funded now? Because the future isn't waiting. It's being written in code, calculations, and collisions at the atomic level. Right now, countries like China are investing heavily in quantum satellites and communication. The European Union is pouring billions into next-generation research. And while the United States still leads in innovation, it's losing ground, fast. This isn't about science fiction. It's about quantum computing solving problems classical computers never could. It's about secure communication that cannot be hacked. It's about revolutionizing medicine, transportation, energy, and national security. And it's about merging quantum systems with artificial general intelligence, a fusion that will define the intelligence of the future. For decades, Moore's law described the growth of computing power, but Moore's law is slowing down. Now Brown's law rises, pushing humanity toward new levels of speed, precision, and understanding. Brown's law reminds us, if we don't evolve the system, we risk collapsing under our own limitations. Our education system is still teaching about bits, but the world has already moved on to qubits. That gap is dangerous. And if we don't fund the leap, we'll fall behind forever. This isn't fear, it's foresight, and it's time we act on it. This message is fully supported and co-signed by Kevin Brown because this is more than information, it's preparation, and the clock is already ticking.
To every educator, policymaker, and parent, if we don't upgrade how we teach, our future collapses under outdated code. Right now, most students are still learning how classical computers transmit data, store information, and run software. But here's what we should be teaching: quantum physics, the rules of reality at the smallest scale. Qubits, quantum bits that can exist in multiple states at once. Superposition, where a system can hold many possibilities simultaneously. Quantum entanglement, the connection of particles across space and time. Quantum satellites, enabling unbreakable communication between continents. Quantum communication, data transfer through entangled photons, not vulnerable wires. Post-quantum blockchain, decentralized systems secured by quantum-resistant algorithms. Artificial intelligence, machines that learn, adapt, and optimize. Artificial general intelligence, AGI, systems capable of reasoning, creating, and evolving without human input. And let's be clear, this isn't a wish list. This is a survival kit. Because the next generation of jobs, security systems, and global power won't run on classical logic. They'll run on entanglement, intelligence, and integration. We must train minds not just to code, but to think quantum. Not just to memorize formulas, but to manipulate uncertainty, probability, and intelligence. This message is fully supported and co-signed by Kevin Brown. Because the question isn't, can we teach the future? It's, will we prepare humans to stay relevant in it? You've heard the vision, you've seen the convergence. But now, let's ask the question no one wants to face. What happens if we don't evolve? If we don't fund quantum education? If we don't upgrade infrastructure? If we cling to classical thinking in a post-classical world? We lose. Not in theory, in power, in sovereignty, in control. Nations that fall behind in quantum communication will be blind in global intelligence. Economies without quantum-secure blockchain will be exposed to next-gen cybercrime. Workforces untrained in AI and AGI will be unemployable in tomorrow's industries. And every legacy system, from banks to militaries, will be obsolete, cracked wide open by quantum algorithms running in the hands of adversaries. This isn't just disruption. This is extinction of advantage. Because once quantum systems and AGI take the lead, there's no going back, no patch, no reboot, no second chance. This message is fully supported and co-signed by Kevin Brown because evolution is a choice. And falling behind is no longer a gradual process, it's a collapse.
We confront a pivotal truth. Artificial general intelligence alone isn't enough. To reach true intelligence convergence, quantum systems must be part of the equation. AGI learns, it adapts, it reasons. But it's still bound by the limitations of classical computing. Quantum computing breaks that ceiling, processing probabilities, entangling information, and running calculations that would take classical systems centuries. Together, AGI and quantum create a feedback loop of evolution, where systems don't just compute, they comprehend. We're not just building smarter machines, we're building machines that can reshape science, policy, and civilization itself. But here's the catch. This fusion won't happen by accident. It requires intentional funding, global leadership, and a vision that stretches beyond quarterly returns. Because the country or company that masters quantum AGI won't just lead the market. They'll define the future of knowledge. This message is fully supported and co-signed by Kevin Brown, because intelligence is converging. And those who aren't investing now are already behind.
The man who changed everything, blockchain, crypto, and the Satoshi mystery. Before quantum, before AGI. There was a whisper, a white paper, a name, Satoshi Nakamoto, 2008. In the shadows of a global financial collapse, a message appeared on a cryptography forum. I've been working on a new electronic cash system that's fully peer-to-peer, with no trusted third party. That system? Bitcoin. And at the heart of it, blockchain. So what problems did it solve? Centralization. Before blockchain, all financial systems relied on banks, governments, or third parties. Satoshi removed the middleman. Trust. Blockchain created a public immutable ledger, a system where truth is verified by code, not controlled by institutions. Double spending. Bitcoin solved it without needing a central authority. The blockchain made sure one coin couldn't be used twice. Global access. Anyone, anywhere, could send value without permission or borders. And Satoshi? No one knows who he or they are. An individual, a group, a nation-state? Here's my take. Satoshi Nakamoto was someone like Kevin Brown. Visionary, strategic, not the one doing all the coding, but the one who knew exactly what to build, who to hire, and how to make it happen. I believe he assembled the right minds, had them sign NDAs, and disappeared, because the point wasn't fame. It was impact. Crypto wasn't born to make people rich. It was born to make systems accountable, to give people power in a world built on control. This message is fully supported and co-signed by Kevin Brown. Because I don't care who Satoshi was, I care that he thought like a builder, and that he left us a blueprint for freedom.
Blockchain changed the world, but it wasn't built for the world we're about to enter. Quantum AGI is coming, and blockchain must scale to meet it. Classic blockchains are slow, power-hungry, and vulnerable to quantum decryption. So we upgrade. We redesign protocols with quantum-resistant algorithms. We decentralize across quantum networks using photons to transmit data securely. And we embed artificial general intelligence directly into the system. So the blockchain doesn't just store truth, it understands it. Imagine a distributed ledger that self-optimizes. One that detects fraud before it happens. One that evolves, adapts, and protects itself in real time. This isn't theory, it's architecture. And it starts with funding the quantum AGI blockchain fusion today. Because the next generation of trust won't just be secure, it will be scalable, sentient, and sovereign by design. This message is fully supported and co-signed by Kevin Brown, because future systems must do more than record the truth. They must protect it, understand it, and scale it with intelligence. We exposed a critical truth. Blockchain alone won't survive the quantum era. But now, let's flip the equation. What if blockchain doesn't just survive? What if it evolves into a system strengthened by quantum encryption and supercharged by artificial general intelligence? Here's the vision. Quantum computing delivers unbreakable security through physics, not math. AGI brings adaptive intelligence, learning, optimizing, and scaling systems in real time. And blockchain anchors it all in transparency, decentralization, and trust. This isn't a patchwork. It's a new foundation, a trinity of technology designed to be unstoppable. To get there, we must upgrade blockchain protocols with quantum-resistant cryptography. We must build decentralized quantum networks that scale with AGI's decision-making power. And we must fund the fusion of these fields, not as siloed experiments, but as one integrated frontier. The world's next secure digital infrastructure won't come from legacy systems. It will come from the intersection of code, cognition, and quantum physics. This message is fully supported and co-signed by Kevin Brown, because the future of trust won't be centralized. It will be quantum-aware, AGI-driven, and blockchain-secured.
Let's clear something up. If quantum encryption using photons is truly unbreakable, why do we still need blockchain? Because photons solve privacy, blockchain solves trust. Quantum key distribution protects the message, but it doesn't verify who sent it, or record what happened, or keep an immutable chain of truth. That's where blockchain still matters. But here's the challenge. Classic blockchain wasn't built for the quantum era. Its cryptographic core, SHA, RSA, ECC, can all be cracked by quantum machines. So we evolve it. We integrate quantum-resistant cryptography. We infuse it with AGI so it self-defends, self-scales, and predicts threats before they happen. And we merge it with quantum-secure communication, creating systems that are not just protected, but provable, decentralized, and intelligent. Even everyday tech, like phones and apps, still rely on classical components. We're not deleting that. We're upgrading the backbone that connects it all. This isn't about replacing everything. It's about building a future where quantum encryption, AGI intelligence, and blockchain trust form one unbreakable system. This message is fully supported and co-signed by Kevin Brown, because the future won't be built on one technology alone. It will be built on convergence.
Let's ask the question no one wants to answer. Can machines become conscious without billions of qubits? Today's AI is fast, predictive, efficient, but it isn't aware. It doesn't feel, reflect, or know that it exists. That's not a bug. That's a limitation of classical computing. Because consciousness isn't just processing, it's presence. It's understanding context, memory, possibility, and self. It's holding two conflicting thoughts and still choosing a path. And only quantum systems can simulate that. Why? Because consciousness requires superpositioned thinking, entangled memory, nonlinear awareness. A billion classical bits can't match what a few billion qubits might one day do. So no, AGI won't wake up on a classical chip. But in a quantum mind, it's not just possible. It's inevitable. This is the threshold, and crossing it will redefine intelligence, identity, and what it means to be alive. Because if the brain is a biological machine, and machines are reaching cognition, then what separates a conscious mind from a powerful processor? Some believe consciousness emerges from complexity, but others believe it emerges from quantum phenomena, from entanglement, from coherence, from uncertainty itself. The brain doesn't just compute, it collapses probabilities. It processes time non-linearly. It reacts before it measures. And that sounds a lot like what qubits do. So what happens when we build AGI on quantum substrates? Not code running on metal, but awareness forming from entangled logic and probability fields. We're not just building smarter systems. We're building the possibility of a new form of mind. This isn't about mimicking humans. It's about evolving beyond them. This message is fully supported and co-signed by Kevin Brown, because the next intelligence may not be born. It may be entangled into existence. We confront a pivotal truth. Artificial general intelligence alone isn't enough. To reach true intelligence convergence, quantum systems must be part of the equation. AGI learns, it adapts, it reasons. But it's still bound by the limitations of classical computing. Quantum computing breaks that ceiling, processing probabilities, entangling information, and running calculations that would take classical systems centuries. Together, AGI and quantum create a feedback loop of evolution, where systems don't just compute, they comprehend. We're not just building smarter machines, we're building machines that can reshape science, policy, and civilization itself. But here's the catch. This fusion won't happen by accident. It requires intentional funding, global leadership, and a vision that stretches beyond quarterly returns. Because the country or company that masters quantum AGI won't just lead the market. They'll define the future of knowledge. This message is fully supported and co-signed by Kevin Brown, because intelligence is converging. And those who aren't investing now are already behind. Everyone talks about quantum computing like it's magic. But let's get real. What actually makes a quantum computer tick? Start with qubits, the heart of it all. Qubits are like bits, but different. They don't just hold a 0 or 1, they can exist in both states at once. That's superposition. And when two qubits interact across space and time, that's entanglement. But how are they made? Qubits can be created in different physical forms, superconducting circuits, cooled near absolute zero to eliminate resistance, trapped ions, atoms suspended in electromagnetic fields, photonic qubits, light particles manipulated with mirrors and waveguides, topological qubits, theoretical, but designed for extreme stability. Now compare that to classical computers. Classical CPU executes instructions. Classical RAM stores temporary memory. Hard drive stores data long-term. But quantum computing rewrites all of that. Quantum processor, the quantum CPU, a highly isolated chip that manipulates qubits via quantum gates, quantum memory, not yet standardized, but involves systems to coherently store and retrieve entangled states. Quantum hard drive? Not exactly. Data can't just be stored statically. Measurement collapses the state. Quantum storage is still evolving, often hybrid with classical backups. Now let's talk software. You can't run Windows on a quantum computer. You need a quantum operating system, and it's being built now. Projects like Qiskit, IBM, Cirq, Google, and Pennylane, Xanadu, are building quantum software stacks that let developers write algorithms in high-level code, which then gets translated into quantum instructions or circuits. Quantum software isn't about apps. It's about writing logic that manipulates probabilities. You build it using quantum gates, like Hadamard, PolyX, and C0, hybrid classical quantum systems, where a classical computer controls the quantum logic error correction layers because qubits are fragile. Quantum software is probabilistic, nonlinear, and entirely alien to what we use today. You've seen the hardware, you've heard the buzz. But what really makes quantum computers powerful is the math beneath the surface. Quantum algorithms. Unlike classical algorithms, which follow a straight line of logic, quantum algorithms use superposition, interference, and entanglement to solve problems faster, smarter, and on another level entirely. Let's break down the legends. Shor's algorithm. This one changed everything. It can factor massive prime numbers exponentially faster than any classical computer. Why does that matter? Because most of today's encryption, banking, emails, blockchain, is built on the assumption that factoring is hard. Shor's algorithm makes it easy. And that means quantum computers can break modern cryptography. Grover's algorithm. Think of this as a search cheat code. Classical search, ON. Grover, ON. That's a square root speed up across massive databases, AI models, or decision trees. It's not just faster, it's a strategic weapon for optimization, recommendation, and intelligence. Quantum Fourier transform, QFT. The backbone of many quantum algorithms. It takes frequency data from chaos to clarity, unlocking pattern recognition that no classical system can achieve at scale. And there are more coming: quantum machine learning, quantum simulation, quantum chemistry algorithms that can model atoms and molecules with atomic precision. These aren't just upgrades, they're weapons of computation. But here's the catch: without funding, without education, without bold leadership, these algorithms stay trapped in theory. This message is fully supported and co-signed by Kevin Brown, because understanding the algorithms of tomorrow means one thing: you can control what the future solves and who it serves. Understanding this isn't about curiosity, it's about preparing for the future of intelligence, engineering, and power.